Hi peeps, I hope everybody's having a great day. So I didn't do a blog or video last week because my hubby was on vacation, and we did some stuff around home and around town, but we also went and explored Quebec City. We went to the Aquarium there, and we went to Old Quebec City with our two little ones and my husband's mom and dad. So I thought I would do my first vlog, and actually not, well, I guess I'll be reviewing the aquarium and stuff, but actually not review or talk about a product, but actually just talk about how our trip went and stuff, so give it a try. So I was really excited about the aquarium, planning on going to it because my son, Knox, he'll be 3 in November, and he's really into animals and fish and all that kind of stuff. So I read some really great reviews on the aquarium, and I thought it would be something that he would love. So really we had planned that part of the trip primarily just for him. And we had went to the Granby Zoo last year when I was first pregnant for Quinn, and like kind of like our last family trip, just the three of us. And Knox loved the zoo, so the Granby Zoo is something I would do definitely with them again. The aquarium in Quebec, it was insanely busy. There was a lot of, I think, camp trips and stuff, and younger kids, and the ratio children to adult supervision was insane. And I think the facility, the aquarium in Quebec City just isn't built for that kind of volume of people all at once. Like, there was a lineup out the front when we got there. There was one person directing traffic. Like when you first pulled into where the aquarium is, there's one person directing traffic, saying the first parking lot was full, but there was nobody directing traffic or monitoring any kind of flow of anything further where they were directing us to park after. They say it's stroller friendly and kid friendly, but it was so packed you couldn't move. Like, my husband got stuck with our stroller in one of the tunnels of the aquariums for probably, like, I'd say like 20 or 30 minutes, where he wasn't actually able to move. Like, my mother-in-law had to go back in and help pull him out because people weren't being considerate, weren't letting him out, and it was so packed that you couldn't physically move. So that's difficult, and I found it very dark. Like, I know to see some of the fish and some of the jellyfish and stuff, it needs to be dark, but we went into the jellyfish room and I couldn't actually see Knox. So he wanted to walk around and see things, but I was so terrified of losing him because I couldn't actually see him if he was below the lights of where the jellyfish were. So I really wanted it to be this, like, magical, awesome experience, but I mean, it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't what I really hoped it to be. I think maybe if you went off season, or, I mean, we went on a Wednesday afternoon, so we thought, like, okay, it's not going to be that busy. It was just insane. They don't have for as busy as it was, there's not enough bathrooms, there's not enough food services, and there's not enough staff monitoring the flow of traffic. I never saw one staff member checking the tunnels to see if people were going through or whatnot. And the people, like, were just, it was just insane. Like, no one would let you walk past. People would cut you off and then stop right in front of you and just stand there forever. Like, push your child out of the way to get to the, like, I worked my way to the front to get Knox to see the fish, and then, like, a teenager would come and, like, elbow us out of the way. Like, it was just, it was a lot. So, for the parts we did get to enjoy, it was quite nice. They do have a large variety of fish. They have polar bears, which was really cool. Knox got to see the walruses, and that was neat. They've got a big window where the walrus would come up and, like, high-five the window and stuff. So we got pictures of Knox, like, high-fiving the walrus. And that was pretty neat. Like, that was awesome. He got to see seals. So the big animals outside were probably his favorite part that we got to see. And so, I mean, it wasn't, like, 100% horrible or anything. And, I mean, we were together as a family, and we got to spend time with Ryan's mom and dad. So, I mean, it wasn't, I don't want to say it was, like, the worst thing ever, but it's just, you know, when you have something built up so much in your mind, and you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome, and it's going to be, like, so great, and then it's not. I think it makes it harder to swallow because you've built it up so much in your mind, right? And as you can see by my laundry pile behind me, you know, we're still recovering from vacation, so like trying to do all the laundry and organize the house and all that kind of stuff, you know, like the vacation hangover, like you're trying to like sort everything out and figure out, get back to schedule and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, I don't want to say that I wouldn't recommend the aquarium in Quebec. I just, I've heard so many amazing things about the Ripley Aquarium in Toronto, or even the aquarium in Boston. And this fly is like, dude, okay. Or the aquarium in Boston. And like for us, it's about 4 hour drive to the aquarium in Quebec City. Toronto is about 5 hours, I think. And Boston's like 6. So to me, if we're going to do an aquarium again, I would do one of the other two. I would do Toronto or Boston and make a trip out that way. Just because I don't know that I want to do the Quebec Aquarium again. Actually, sorry. I don't want to do the Quebec Aquarium again. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad Knox got the experience. He's still talking about high-fiving walruses. It's just, it was a lot to do with a child under 3, and then we had Quinn in her carrier, and being bumped around and stuff like that. That's the thing too, right? You've got your baby and you're getting defensive, and like I felt like I was murderous or something, like push my kids and I'm gonna lose it. So it was just difficult, and they don't have air circulation in the, like when you're walking through the tunnels, so it was getting hot and you're getting crowded and bumped around, and like you're trying to like grab your kids and make sure they're having fun, but also make sure that it's safe. And it was just like, at one point my husband just left the aquarium and went outside for a while because he just couldn't deal with it anymore. He's like, I just can't do it, and he just left. So I wanted it to be like A+. I want to go back tomorrow, super exciting. It just unfortunately wasn't that for me. Now Old Quebec City, which really isn't really isn't geared towards children. Like it's I would say, even everybody I've talked to about it says it's more directed towards couples. We had an easier time navigating Old Quebec City, and like I'm talking like up, down, all over the place, navigating Quebec City, Old Quebec City with the kids than we did at the aquarium. Like, and it even rained most of the time we were in Old Quebec City. Like, it would rain off and on, and then we got lucky enough that we kind of like scurry away into a store or into a little cafe for the big downpours. But I'm gonna totally brag about my kids. They did amazing on this trip. Like, Quinn's gonna be 6 months on the 16th, and Knox is still under 3, and they just handled traveling like champs. I never thought I would be like a big person to travel with kids, because having kids can be difficult in your own home. So like traveling with them is like 10 times worse, right? Or not worse. Having kids isn't like horrible. That came out wrong, but you know, it's a lot of work. You got to bring a lot of stuff, and they're not in their own space. But like, they barely made a fuss. They barely, I mean, missing naps and everything, and they barely, you wouldn't know that anything was different from their life. Like, they just did insanely amazing. I'm so like proud of how well they did. They are just awesome little kids. So we enjoyed Old Quebec City. I'd like to go back though, with maybe just my husband, and do like, even when the kids get a bit older and we do a weekend, I think that would be a neat place to explore. Because I think, because there's parts that's kind of like very like European, right? Like, so there's parts where like you can walk in and you can have a glass of wine, and you walk through a little cafe, and then you can shop and you can do all those things. So I think like I just still shopped, but I shopped a lot for the kids. We did this thing where we set a limit for Knox, and anything he wanted within that limit he could get. So I got him these really cute John Deere Christmas lights. They have a Christmas shop in Old Quebec City. It's all Christmas stuff, and my son loves tractors, so I got him this string of oh my god, the fly, string of John Deere tractor lights, and he is so excited about those. They had Paw Patrol Christmas ornaments, so I got him Marshall. and like that kind of stuff. He loves monster trucks and like anything motor vehicle. So he found a school bus monster truck, and it's got these big wheels, and it's like kind of, you can pull it back and it goes all over stuff. So he got a lot of really cool treasures. And again, Quinn did amazing. We had her in the carrier, and like if she got thirsty, we gave her the bottle while we were carrying her, and she just looked around and smiled and fell asleep when she was tired. And she was like, my kids are incredible. I don't know, this trip could have been like a nightmare with the rain and crazy people at the aquarium and whatnot, and they were just like beautifully amazing. Like even with all the driving and stuff we did, they handled it so well. Like I would travel anywhere with my kids. They're crazy. They're so good. So I loved Old Quebec City. It was beautiful. I loved the architecture and stuff, and even that, it would be nice to take in slower. Like we were going between the rain and stuff, we were trying to get from spot to spot. So with the kids, making sure we weren't getting stuck in this big downpour with the children. So that would be even fun to go. I think even in fall it would be beautiful in Old Quebec City. Just kind of like slowly navigating the streets, and even not even like the busy parts where all the shops, but like where all the old buildings are and stuff. Like grab a coffee and kind of walk arm in arm, and you know, I think that would be nice. So maybe that's what we'll do next or something. But so that was good. The hotel we stayed at, I would not recommend. Hotel Cartier Quache. They say it's kid friendly, and they ask for your kids' ages when you reserve. And again they say it's kid friendly, but then so they knew I had a child under 3 and a baby less than 6 months, and they have like, they say it's half floors, and again there was in the language breakdown, my French isn't very good, and the guy at the check-in wasn't very fluent in English, so but he was explaining to me like there was a new add-on and there's like half floors, so the elevator only goes to the first level, the 4th level, the reception, the 1st level, the 4th level, and the 6th level. So any of the levels in between that it doesn't go to. So where do you stick a family with small children and playpens and stuff? Oh, you stick them on a floor that doesn't have an elevator. So they have to take it. They have to get from parking, walk up a flight of stairs, down a flight of stairs, get in the elevator, wait into a tiny little elevator, go up the elevator, get out of the elevator, go up a flight of stairs, go down a flight of stairs, and walk down the longest hallway to get to the room that you stuck them in, because you're family friendly. It always seemed to take them a while to respond to anything. Like if you called with anything, it always took forever to respond. There is a restaurant, I think it was called Houston, in the hotel, but they don't have any information for it in the hotel whatsoever. Like no room service information, no menus available, like portable menus to see what you'd like. Like basically the guy when we checked in said, ice is on the 4th level, pool is on the main level. There you go. Like no explanation of how things work or whatnot. Yeah. So I would not stay there again. The beds were like insanely hard. And for being a family friendly hotel, like it wasn't. The Houston, which kind of looks like, I don't want to say it's fine dining, but it's definitely fancy. Like, you know, they've got wine glasses on the tables, everything's very modern and hip and chic, like the servers all wear little mini dresses, and it's a pricier menu. They were way more kid friendly than the kid friendly hotel was. So I recommend the Houston, the restaurant that we ate at. We eat there twice, both mornings we eat there for breakfast, and everything we had was just delicious. It was so good. And we actually had the same server both days, and she was so good with the kids. So I recommend the restaurant. I would never stay at the hotel again though. Between the lack of service, lack of explanation, the horrible layout, and the fact that they claim to be family friendly but made no effort to be, you know, family friendly. And I don't want to say it was a dirty hotel, but I don't want to say it was clean either. I don't know. It just wasn't what, you know, like you're out walking all day. You're on vacation, you're out walking, you're out exploring. You want to come back and crash in your hotel room and be comfortable. And it just wasn't that. Like, I never felt comfortable in there. And I've stayed in a ton of hotels and suites and like varying degrees of like motel to, some of the fanciest hotels, and I mean, it doesn't have to be an expensive place to be comfortable or to be service oriented or family friendly. Yeah, I wouldn't. So I mean, it probably sounds like the way I'm talking about the trip that it wasn't good, but it was. I mean, and I think it was so. It ended up, even with all the setbacks and craziness that happened and whatnot. I mean, it ended up being an amazing trip because the kids handle it so well, and the company, right? When you have good company, you can make anything awesome. Like, the kids were really tired our first night, so we ran next door to St. Hubert's and got takeout and then ate in our hotel room. The second night, oh my god, Baton Rouge is having a lobster fest right now. An entire menu of lobster items. Like, I wanted to just camp out there and be like, hey, this is going to be our trip. Just leave me here and come find me in my lobster coma later on. My husband and I both ended up getting the lobster Oscar, or no, sirloin Oscar. So it was a sirloin steak, which was cooked perfectly. A 6-ounce butter poached lobster. It's lobster tail, like this huge lobster tail, and then that's on top. And then they have hollandaise sauce and asparagus all on top of that with mashed potatoes and veggies and stuff. Like, it was incredibly decadent. It was very rich, but the flavor was brilliant. The lobster was not overcooked. The steak was cooked perfectly. My sister-in-law and her hubby just celebrated their anniversary on the 8th. And we told them, I told them, you need to go there for if you're celebrating your anniversary, because it was so good. Like, they had so many things that I wanted to try. They had lobster ravioli. They had so many amazing things on their menu that I'm like, okay, we need to go back and I need to try like one of each of the items. And they have creme brulee at Baton Rouge, so that alone, like, I was so stuffed. Like, I felt like my food was like here after eating the steak and the lobster, and I was like, I'm gonna have me some creme brulee. And they had this really nice white wine sangria, weaning Quinn, so I actually got to have a drink, the first drink I've had in like, I don't know, like 14 months. So I sipped it because I didn't want to be like, but it was a white wine sangria. I think it was called like a nectarine sangria. Again, it was in French, so I was trying to translate what the actual detail was. I was like, yeah, that looks good, I'm gonna try it. So my mother-in-law and I both had that, and it was amazing. It was really good. Very fresh, fruity summer drink. Very good. So the food that we had on our trip was amazing. I got to go to Starbucks, so that was awesome. And we got like a lot of really nice souvenirs and got spoiled as per usual with Ryan's family. And it just, so I mean, some of the places we went and stayed weren't amazing, but we still had an amazing trip. So, do I recommend the Quebec Aquarium? Probably not. If you live kind of in the same area as I do, I'd recommend, checking out Ripley's, the aquarium in Toronto. I would definitely not recommend the hotel. I would recommend Old Quebec City, and I would recommend Baton Rouge and Houston Restaurant for sure. So I'm hoping this week I ordered for my first time from Julep, from their secret shop, a couple secret items. So like, I don't know what I'm getting. It's just like these little packages, and they send you, it's a surprise. So I'd like to do a reveal, like an unboxing for that. I still want to do my nature box review, and I still plan on doing the surprise reveal for my August Ipsy glam bag. I have yet to look at any of the stuff. They keep sending me emails saying, do you want to see what's in your bag for August? I'm like, I do, but I can't. So I'm still planning on doing that with my sister-in-law Charlene, us doing it together. If you have any tips or comments or requests, please let me know, comment below. Please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to chat with you soon. So I hope you like this video. Have a great day, guys, and talk to you later. Bye.